Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. I got another Master Duel video for you. Season 56 is upon us. Thought we would go ahead and get a bit of an earlier start on Ranked Ladder this time. Try to not leave it all for the last week, just to get into Diamond there. I actually was up to Diamond 3 just doing dailies, so if I really, locked in even like 20% more, I think I could have hit Master, but yeah, well, I'm not really concerned with it. I do have some post-ban list decks to play here, as well as just some, decks I generally enjoy playing. But I want to start with either Zoodiac, Radiant Typhoon, or Cool Tune. The thing I kind of hesitate with Cool Tune is that I feel like if I wanted to really play an optimized list, I have to craft either some stone sweepers or overtunings. I really don't want to do that though, so I think I'm going to start with Zoodiac Radiant Typhoon. Plus I just enjoy playing this deck more. So I've already got our post-ban list deck already built out here. The day that I'm recording this is the 1st of August, so the ban list is technically not live yet, but we're just going to go ahead and start playtesting the hits anyway. 2 Rap here, we've got 2 Vision, and then 2 Chant as well. So we're going to load it up and see just how different it is to play Zoodiac Radiant Typhoon with these changes. Alright, going into our first duel of the new season here. We're going second. Now, we are playing both Forbidden Droplet and Fallen in the Virtuous as board breakers. And, of course, we've got a few hand traps as well. So, I think generally, I actually like to count hand traps and board breakers kind of in the same just good going second cards category. I think we play a total of 15 between hand traps and board breakers. So, we got Ash Blossom. We do have Crocea in case they activate a quick play spell. They're going to go with Nadir Servant. I think I might actually Ash Blossom that, just because this stops not only the search from Nadir Servant itself, but also whatever they're going to try to dump from the extra deck, which would be an extra draw probably off of Garura. So Ash Blossom to stop a draw and a search, I think is actually fine there. Yeah, they just summon Dogmatica Ecclesia anyway, so they're going to add Fallen in the Virtuous. That'll trigger Crocea whenever they activate that. Okay. Draw phase Droplet, huh? All right, so we're definitely gonna go, or draw Droplet rather. We are gonna go draw phase Chant for sure. Now, I could add MST, pop the face down, and then special Crocea. I wouldn't be able to do Zoodiac stuff if I did that, but that might not matter in this situation. Plus, I wouldn't have to deal with Fallen of the Virtuous. The other option is to add like Eldum or something, normal summon it. It gets popped. Then I can, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna add a monster here. Yeah, this is that, because we're just gonna special summon Crocea anyway here, right? Yeah, let's do that. We can't do Zoodiac stuff if we get wind locked, but we're going second, so it might just not matter here. All right, now here, yeah, they're gonna pop the Crocea, which is totally fine. So I think I'm gonna grab. I think I'm gonna grab a quick play spell here. I could chain Droplet right now, but I don't really feel like there's too much of a reason to do that. It might be needed to OTK. Let me think for a second. Eldum, Swen. The other option is to hold it for some insurance for follow-up. I'm just gonna hold it. I don't think 750 points is going to make the difference, and we'll definitely be able to have monsters on the field that don't have, or that aren't special summoned from the extra deck. What if I should just get Vision here and try to draw some more cards, or if I should actually just grab, like, Ascendance to... Yeah, I think we should just grab Ascendance. I think that's a smart play. Just to make sure we have more plays here. All right, we're already wind locked, so... Getting wind locked by Meg Hala's effect won't really make a difference here. So I'm thinking about Nibiru. That's 3 summons. This will be 4. Okay, now I think we can just add vision. Let's draw some cards and see what we get. We can just get rid of MST here. We could summon Varun, and then it wouldn't matter if they had Nibiru. But then the question is, can I, like, OTK if I do that? How much damage do I have right now? 3,400? If I get Phonics here, that would put enough damage. So there's, like, the risky play to go for the OTK or the safe play to try to not die here. Is there another way to get to Phonics otherwise? No, because I already did all my searching, didn't I? Yeah, I kind of have to go all in the way I played this. I just really hope they don't have a Nibiru. Okay, they didn't get past priority, which is a really good sign. Ooh, I didn't like that pause there, but it looks like we're good. Maybe not. Hopefully it's just like imperm or something. Please don't have something on the last attack. Oh, they might actually. Okay, they didn't. Whoo. Okay, yeah, I think it might have just been like Effect Veiler or imperm or something. But there you go. That's a pretty clean Radiant Typhoon OTK. Yeah, Phonics plus Corsaea plus Eldon plus Swen will do it. It's just a matter of, like, you know, did they have any hand traps there? Again, I could have summoned main deck Varun and had, like, complete immunity from basically complete immunity from monster-based hand traps anyway, because I did have that MST in the graveyard from Vision. So I could negate, not destroy, but I could negate monster effects there. I'm actually kind of curious to see what my opponent's list was. More than anything, I just want to see what hand trap they had. Could it have been Fuelos? I think it was Fuelos. Maybe they just figured... Oh no, that's... that's my deck. An opponent's deck. Here we go. Wow, they actually are on Nib. But was it Fuelos? I think that's still just about the only thing it could have been. I don't think they would have held Maxi. Okay, I guess it was just Fuelos there. All right, well, anyway, there was that game. First game of the season. All right, let's go into our next one. Going second again. Let's see what our hand looks like. No hand traps. Corsaea might end up getting to summon here. Hand's not horrible, even for going second. Opponent is going to be on Canine. They're going to go Jokel, reveal Lupus. Jokel for Lantern. So what is this going to be, like Ripper plus Noshnite? They're going to add Izana. Might already have Lantern. Overlay for Ripper, detach, add case. No, they're gonna add, oh, okay, so it's, got it. So then, yeah, you just wrote it for Raisin. I mean, I figured it was gonna be K9 VS, but now we do know they have access to this engine as well. So their hand is Izana, 2 unknowns, plus whatever Raisin adds, which is, yeah, it could be Holly Sue, that makes sense. Rock, add back Raisin, Holly Sue, reveal Raisin, summon. Holly Sue needs fire and earth in order to summon from deck, right? So that would be Izana plus Raisins. They can summon from deck, so they have full combo. It's fire and earth, right? Or is it earth and dark? I can never remember. It's fire and dark, okay. To summon from deck. So it's Raisin plus one of the cards we don't know about yet, which did end up being Lantern. That makes sense. So there's one card left. We don't know what it is. Summon Mad Love from deck. Mad Love, add the field spell. Field spell, activate, add. Wonder what they do add here. Xiaolong? But you need to reveal in order to be able to summon Xiaolong from hand, right? Oh, they're just going to add Caesar Valius. Okay. That's fine. Because now they can't make a rank 5 with these. I guess they're planning on keeping these on the... That makes sense. They're going to keep these on the field as Disruption and then set Snow Devil during the end phase. Wow, I don't know if we're going to be able to play through this. At least we can MST Snow Devil. Or the... What do you call it? The thing that this sets. The quick play spell that goes into Werewolf. We do play Zeus. I might need Zeus here. If I summon Crocea and activate... Well, not if I summon Crocea, but if I activate the search effect, I'm locked into Wind. So I can't just rip Crowface. I can't just rip Crocea on the draw phase necessarily, because then I won't be able to Zeus. And I think I will probably end up needing Zeus here. Yeah, I don't think this is winnable. Let's see, we have MST for the Snow Devil. I think it's the more important card to hit there. Because otherwise, well, but the quick play spell does pop a card too. I was gonna say the quick play spell just represents... Oh, they didn't pop it. They might already have it in hand. That might have been their last card. Because every other card we know about, right? Forced release. Oh, they added it off of Lantern earlier. Okay, I wasn't even paying attention. Called by... That's interesting. I don't know if that actually changes anything, though. So they set this from hand, right? And then this one's Snow Devil. Yeah, all right. I'm going to start with MST on Snow Devil. They chain. Because it can still burn me and summon from hand. That makes sense. Yeah, I think I might just have to concede here. I can't even special summon these, yeah. it's Jover. It's pretty Jover. Like, even if I add another MST to pop the face down, like, they're still going to have spell and trap cards. So, yeah, that was pretty Jover. They just kind of had everything, but it just happens sometimes. All right. Maybe we can win a coin flip this time. Nope. That's all good. Just because we don't win the coin flip doesn't mean we don't win the duel. Let's see what this hand looks like. No hand traps or going second cards again, like board breakers, I mean. It's pretty unlucky to open like that 2 times in a row. Looks like our opponent is on Sky Striker. Normal summon Ray, activate Rhoda, and add a Rose. That's fine. I think that was a misplay. I think... I don't know, actually. God, I don't know enough about Sky Striker to necessarily make that... But wouldn't you, if you're going to already Rhoda for Rose, shouldn't you Ray for, like, Camellia, dump Engage, go into Kagari, add back Engage? Then, at some point, whenever you special summon, like, Kagari, you could then go Rose, then Rose plus Kagari into Ace Zero? Does that work? I think it does. I'm not going to summon Varun here. I don't really feel like there's too much of a point. Because I don't have any MSTs in my graveyard anyway, so yeah. I'm going to wait. Could leave my toggle on and just let them wonder, like, what was that? So they'll probably think it's Droll, but then I'm not going to activate anything. Oh, okay, they have linkage. That's why they did it this way. That makes a little more sense. So they added Widow Anchor, right? Yeah. Also, they're Fallen of the Virtuous popping. Their card didn't pan out the way they wanted to because they didn't draw an extra card. They'll get a draw off this engage, though, right? Yeah, yep. So their hand is Widow Anchor Rose. Currently 1, about to be 2 unknown cards, plus whatever they search. Linkage, Widow Anchor Rose, plus 2 unknown cards. Okay. Upstart doesn't change anything about the hand knowledge, just converts 1 unknown card into another. And see, this is the other thing. You would much rather end on Ace 0 than Shizuku. That's another way I think that was a little bit of a misplay. Not even a little bit. I actually think that was kind of a lot of it of a misplay. You really want to be able to end on the Ace 0 pop. All right, now, where to use the MST? I could use it on the card I know is Fallen in the Virtuous. I could take a chance and try to hit Widow Anchor. One of these cards is going to be Linkage, which I don't really care about. That makes me feel like I should hit Fallen in the Virtuous. Just hit a guaranteed good card instead of having a chance to whiff on something that might not end up mattering. Yeah, they don't have Lemnis Gate access, which is really good. I mean, it could be one of their face down cards still, but yeah, it's a pretty horrible top deck, unfortunately. Got Call By for Ray. We're not in a horrible spot here. Yeah, I'm going to pop the card I know is Fallen of the Virtuous. Yeah, I'll still summon in defense mode. Like, even with, like, the Mandate buff, she's only going to be at 300 attack, so I don't think that'll make the difference in, like, OTKing or anything. All right, we've got MST in the graveyard. Let's start with Eldum. Okay, they're chaining Widow Anchor for the negate plus steal. It's going to have to be fine. Should I have started with Swen? I definitely should have thought about that more. I think I should have started with Swen. I don't think it really matters, actually, that much. You know what? We could actually call by Ace 0 if they're going to summon another copy here, which I think they are. Okay, so this is the only face-down card we don't know what it is. If it's another Widow Anchor or Sky Striker spell that isn't Lemnis Gate, they can't use it anymore because they control a monster. But I think they can still use it because it got past priority again. Unless they could have gotten past priority for Ace 0. We can also negate Ace 0 with Varun. And then we can call by Banish Ray. I like that a lot more. I could add Crocea and proactively call by Banish Ray. No, I can't add Crocea. Ooh, I should have started with Swen. Yeah, because Chant... I always think that Chant can search Crocea for some reason. Ascendance can summon level 6 or lower, but Chant can only search level 4 or lower. So I think... I can either gamble with Visions or Chant for Meghala, call by Banish Ray, summon Crocea. I think that's the way to do it. And then we'll Varun Ace 0. They did have another Lemnis Gate. Wow. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. Okay, they're putting back 6 so they can return 2. I think that's actually fine, maybe? Yeah, I mean, we're not going to chain here. Is it for every 3? Yeah, so they return both of my monsters. I still have a normal summon, though. I can still just activate Chant here. Ooh, but I don't have the Varun negate, and nor can I call by... Ah, okay. I can't call by Ace 0 anymore. Okay, so now this is a problem, because now, like, I can summon Meghala, I can activate Call By, but they can chain Ace 0, which would not only revive the Ray I'm trying to banish anyway, but then it would also pop Meghala, and I wouldn't get to summon Crocea from deck. The other option, because I'm not wind-locked, the other option is to normal summon Swen and overlay, but then I just run into the same problem of Ace 0. But this tributes, right? So even if they do activate... Okay, so I think that is actually the play. I'm not wind-locked, am I? I didn't activate Meghala or Crocea, so I shouldn't be. Okay, yeah, that's the line. That's the line. We make Invoker, we do Zoodiac stuff. When they activate Ace 0, we call by it. Actually, now that Meghala's on the field, we don't have to... Interesting. Now I have options. Now I could either go for Crocea, or they could just concede. Ooh, what was the... Oh, okay, that actually... Okay, blah. There's still a lot to think about there. I may have just won, but there was so much to think about. That was a huge, like, split in the timeline I was going to have to make on that decision there. Either activate Meghala, summon Crocea, Crocea F to grab, like... What would even be the right thing to get there? Because if I searched Phonics, well, I have Mandate in hand, so I could get Phonics MST, set Mandate, MST, the Mandate, summon Phonics, but that's not an OTK. Or the other option is to not activate Meghala, overlay into Invoker, right? And then we would summon a Zoodiac from deck, do that line, and have UDF. UDF plus Invoker, and that would be it. There's like so many pros and cons to both of those. That was actually, you know, my opponent, I was not at a great moment to concede there, because neither of those lines actually finishes them off, and they both have pros and cons. They still had 3 cards left in hand, one of which was Rose, we know that. But I feel like there was still a lot of decision-making that could have gone on at that point. Okay, wow. That was, I think that was a pretty solid set of duels there. So, we didn't really get to do too much Zoodiac stuff. We could have, honestly. And see, that's actually a decision point in that at the end of that last game, where Rapier being at 2 actually hugely mattered. Because I could only end on Invoker plus UDF. If it was Invoker, UDF, and Drident, I think I'd be a little bit more inclined to lean towards that Zoodiac option. But with the only option off of the 2 Rapiers to go into being the UDF, that makes the comparative end board seem like, you know, a lot more of a back and forth there. Because the line where I activate Meghala isn't just more damage, it's more disruption on the board as well. It's the Phonics being able to shuffle cards back. Sorry about that, that was an alarm going off there, my bad. But yeah, no, it's the disruption off the Phonics shuffling cards back. We would still have access to we could link into Link 2 Varun, add an MST, and have another negate with the Mandate there. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of decision points that could have been made from there. And again, the Rapier being at 2 did pretty hugely matter. So once again, this is my post-ban list Zoodiac Radiant Typhoon list. Got the 2 Rapier here. I did add a 1 copy of Barrage to kind of make up for the consistency, because like Rapier is still pretty decent to open, right? Even being at 2, you can still normal summon Rapier. You know, you can overlay into Broad Bowl to search up your Swen to be able to then make Radiant Typhoon plays later before just going into ultimately the UDF. So I think having the 1 Barrage might still be fine, even with 2 Rapier, but I could easily see dropping this for like another hand trap or something. But yeah, we got the one barrage there. As mentioned, for our board breakers, we not only have a playset of Droplet, but also a playset of Fallen of the Virtuous as well. I wasn't always on Fallen of the Virtuous, but the semi-limiting of those Radiant Typhoon spells actually kind of opened up some space in the main deck for me to include those. For extra deck, you know, you always have a good amount of space because there's not too much requirement from either Zoodiac or Radiant Typhoon. Sorry, Skull Dread is definitely not required. You could easily be playing the Ulti Retiari, the Spiritual Beast, or you could also play Race Vulgar if you want a more budget option. This isn't just budget, I do think it is actually a pretty solid card, but the idea behind Skull Dread is that if you've got a turn 1 end board where you have like the Link 2 Varun and, you know, a decent amount of extra bodies hanging around on board, besides that, you can link into Skull Dread at the end with all of your remaining bodies and then try to draw into a bunch of hand traps or like board breaker cards to add to your end board there. Or if you just have a bunch of extra bodies and you really need to dig for a specific answer, you could do that with the Skull Dread as well. I haven't summoned this. I think I had it in my last build as well. I have not summoned this card yet, but I'm still willing to test it out. I do think the Spiritual Beast Ulti Retiari is good. I just don't own a copy, so I thought I did because I thought I played Ritual Beast at one point, but I guess I might have dusted it or something. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway. Let's see. Anything else I have to say about the build? Yeah, duel can be kind of self-conflicting sometimes, so I actually almost didn't play these. I almost played Ghost Spells instead, and I'm still kind of going back and forth on that. Droll is like super feast or famine in this meta. It's either really, really good against whatever you're playing against, or it just does nothing at all. Branded is not only arguably the best deck post ban list, but it is still really popular, and Droll does almost exactly nothing against it. So that's why I've been a little bit hesitant to play Droll. Even decks where Droll is good, like in this matchup, there's still some scenarios where the deck can play around it. Obviously, we have the Zoodiac engine, which while it's a bit weaker, can still help us play around the Droll or through the Droll and Lockbird. Same with, you know, Cool Tune, right? Droll and Lockbird can be really devastating to Cool Tune, but it just depends on what their hand looks like. Sometimes they open enough plays where, or even disruption, where it doesn't really matter that they get Drolled. It only stops maybe a little bit of their end board, but I don't know. It's something that I'm kind of going back and forth on, because Ghost Spell is like always useful. It's good against pretty much every meta deck right now, and it can stop a lot of the main starters in this format right now too. You know, the more that I actually say these words out loud, the more I'm like, yeah, I actually kind of think cutting the Drolls for bells might be the way to go moving forward, but I'll test this out. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments below as well. In the meantime, thanks so much for checking these games out with me and for watching. I really appreciate you watching until the end, especially. It's a great way to support smaller YouTube channels like myself. But speaking of support, let's move on to the outro so we can thank our YouTube members and Patreon subscribers for their very generous support. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way to the very end of the video, which by the way is one of the best ways to support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, take a look at the names on screen. These are folks who have been so generous as to either join as a YouTube member or subscribe over on patreon.com/Hexlex to support. There's also perks for doing so. If you would like to see YouTube videos early, as well as some exclusive videos that get uploaded to YouTube, but for one reason or another I decide not to publish, definitely go ahead and hit that join button to see content early, as well as some exclusive content. If you're looking for more exclusive content, over on patreon.com, I upload exclusive videos that are not posted on YouTube just about every single day. Whether you choose to subscribe over on Patreon, join as a YouTube member, or simply continue to watch, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. But for now, this is Hexlex. I am signing out, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.